Agentic AI and vibe coding are game changing. Like, I have zero experience in web development and I've never learned JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. But I use Cursor and some of the prompting skills to build my personal portfolio. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build your own portfolio with Cursor and how to debug when things don't work properly. I promise it's not as complicated as expected. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. But before that, let me quickly give you an overview of this video. I will be talking about what vibe coding is, the definition of agentic AI. I will also walk you through the basic Cursor setup, then show you how to build your portfolios through a demo. Last but not least, I will also share some builder mindset. Vibe coding is a very new concept, so what is vibe coding even? Well, let's look at how Android described it in one of his tweets. It's like you fully give coding to the vibes and forget about the code even exists. You do get error messages, but you just copy-paste them in with no comment. And AI usually fixes for you. So in this context, it's totally possible to build websites or applications even though you just have very basic coding skills or you don't know coding at all. And perhaps the skill that sets you apart from others is no longer coding, but how to write efficient prompts. Vibe coding goes hand in hand with LLMs, but I'm not talking about using standalone LLM like ChatGPT, Gemini, or DeepSeek, because in that case, to get what you want, you need to keep asking follow-up questions and deploying tools by yourself. It's gonna take you a lot of time. What I'm going to talk about is agentic AI, which is a new paradigm compared to traditional AI. So agentic AI refers to autonomous AI systems that can independently set goals, plans, and execute multiple step tasks with minimal human intervention. They proactively learn from their experiences to improve performance over time. As I will be talking about how to use Cursor to build your portfolio, I will use it as an example of agentic AI here as well. Let's say you want to compare the stock prices of Google and Meta. You give Cursor this prompt and Cursor is telling you that in order to achieve your goal, there will be around 2 or 3 step plan. You need to scrape, stock prices, deduct them, and then make a visualization of it. Then Cursor AI decides what tool is going to deploy before executing this plan. In our example, it selects Python and 2 libraries, Yahoo Finance and Matplotlib. Finally, Cursor is going to execute everything for you, and whenever it runs into error, it will automatically debug it until it delivers the result. So to wrap it up, there are 3 major features of agentic AI: making multiple step plans, deploying tools, and executing everything for you. And recently, Cursor released the web-based version. You can get access to it by directly searching for Cursor on Google. Alternatively, it's also available to download from Cursor website. There are 4 types of subscriptions. For beginners, you can just go for a free trial and consider upgrading if you want to build more in the future. If you download it to your desktop, this is how its interface looks like. It actually looks pretty much like this code. To start the project, we click File, Open Folder. Then we want to create an empty folder where all the Cursor-generated files and docs will be stored. We select this folder to enter the project. There's a small gear on the top right corner. We click it to check out Cursor settings. For example, in model, there's a list of LLM. We can click the gear button to toggle between on and off mode of a model. On the right hand side, we click Control and I to make the chat panel appear. Then we can choose between 3 modes like agent, plan, and ask. On the right, there's a drop-down list to choose which LLM you want to use. Let's look at the left-hand side. After you give Cursor instructions on chat panel, Cursor will automatically generate a series of files here. In our previous example, Python was deployed for the task. So you can see these 3 libraries are stored as text. Cursor also wrote Python code in a file called plot stocks, and the result was delivered here as well. To build personal portfolio, I'm going to create empty column and let's name it Cursor project. Then I'm going to copy paste this prompt I wrote. So here I ask Cursor to play the role as web developer, and my goal is to build a portfolio where the information comes from my resume. I also specify 5 sections on this portfolio, like my contact info, work, project experience, and my educational background. To build this portfolio, Cursor may need to use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. In case you don't know what skill sets are required to achieve your goal, you may as well direct this question to ChatGPT. Here, I'm going to ask, hi, I want to build a personal portfolio and migrate my personal information from my resume to this portfolio. What skill sets do I need? Then ChatGPT tells me everything I need to know. Here we can see HTML, CSS, and basic JavaScript. In addition to this, we may also need to know data and visualization integration, design, and branding, like UI, UX design. Let's go back to Cursor. On the chat panel, don't forget to turn on the agent mode, and I'm gonna use Cloud 4.5 Sonnet to build this web. As we need to have info from my resume and my image on this portfolio, I'm gonna attach the resume and image to project folder I just created. So we can see they were imported and see on the left hand side, we can directly drag them to AI chat panel. But seems the resume cannot be attached to the panel and displayed. It says it's either binary or unsupported. So before we drag any file, we can ask ChatGPT what kind of formats Cursor supports. Here is a full list of formats that can be read by Cursor, like a Python file, Java, JSON, HTML, etc. But Cursor can interpret PDF contents, and ChatGPT stressed that I can convert PDF into text, or I can install VS Code extension. Anyway, I'm just gonna manually copy-paste the contents from my resume to the conversation box and send a prompt. Here you can see Cursor creates a to-do list that has 4 tasks. It's gonna create HTML structure, design CSS styling, write JavaScript, and finally integrate resume and image. Then let's see what's gonna happen. As Cursor keeps running, it's gradually generating some code files. For example, this script has CSS styling code, and we also see JavaScript. It's also running the command about HTML code and asking me if I want to run or not. Actually, in the dropdown list, we can choose ask every time, use allow list, or run every time. So if you select the last one, Cursor is going to execute all commands without asking you to accept it. But for security purpose, I always go for ask every time. Also, I'm going to manually accept the second command. Then after this one, we can see Cursor has done pretty much of it. It successfully created this portfolio. The following information here is basically about what it built for me, the content of it, etc. So let's check it out and play around. The web looks actually pretty good. We can see Cursor built 6 sections as requested. In the contact part, we can copy paste my email and go to my LinkedIn page and YouTube channel. And I'm also gonna scroll down. Here are my skill sets, my work experience, project experience, and my educational background. And we can also click this button to go back to the home page. Until these steps, we successfully created MVP. It's a really good start, but let's not just stop here. We already laid a good foundation. Perhaps it's time to build additional features one step at a time. So on this portfolio, I want to build a clickable button so viewers can, toggle between light and dark mode. I'm also gonna give this prompt to Cursor. So I specified what it needs to achieve, I also want to see a sun and light mode icon displayed on this button. And here, skill sets remain the same. Then we can see Cursor generates a 3-step plan, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code files. I'm also gonna manually accept this. Then let's wait a bit. Oh, it's done. It seems the web is already in night mode. Let me test this button a bit and switch between light and night mode. I would say it's working pretty well. But I still want to build one more fancy features. If your recruiters check my portfolio, they probably want to quickly filter the information they want. If this candidate is compatible with the role, I want to build an AI chatbot so viewers don't have to scan the entire portfolio. To build this functionality, I want to deploy ChatGPT 5 model on it by using OpenAI API key. So let me go to OpenAI platform and create an API key. I'm gonna name it as Cursor Project 1,
and copy this key. Cool. Let's go back to cursor and give this prompt. The API key is pasted here, and the cursor is doing its work as usual, making a multiple step plan and generating a couple of files. I'm gonna run this command, and this is instruction about AI chatbot setup written by cursor. And it also returns JavaScript about this AI chatbot. Let's run one more command. Then after every step is done, the web pops up automatically. So let me check if everything is working properly. I can ask, tell me about her project experience. Okay, it says unable to connect to the AI service. So that means something is going wrong on the background. Starting from here, I'm going to show you how to debug in the vibe coding process. The general rule is that you copy paste the error message back to Agentic AI and let it debug automatically for you. But you'd better have a general understanding of what Agentic AI is doing for you. If direct copy paste doesn't work out, then switching to traditional AI might help you. So let's see what's going to happen next. Let me first copy paste the bug back to cursor and let it figure this out by itself. It seems like the issue is caused by the lack of communication between front end and the backend server. And let me accept all commands from cursor. Let's do one more test again. This time, I will ask, hi, tell me something about her work experience. Okay, it says apologize, but I encountered an error. So the error is still there, and that means we need to keep debugging. Let's scroll down to see how this checklist looks like. So ChatGPT listed 9 possible reasons behind this error. What I'm gonna do is copy paste this info back to cursor and request it to debug accordingly. Still, there are a couple of commands to run here. So cursor says the root cause is that OpenAI API has no available credits or the billing isn't set up. We need to bear in mind that every time you try to deploy LLMs through API key, you need to top up your account for tokens generated. For ChatGPT models, go to OpenAI platform, click billing, and check how much is left in the credit balance. If there's no money in it, you need to top up your account by selecting Add to Credit Balance. In my case, as I use OpenAI API key from time to time, this is the option I chose. Alternatively, you can also ask a cursor to degrade the model to the free tier 1, like ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. So let's test the AI chatbot one more time. I will just directly click technical skills. Now it's working. This time it returns a bunch of my skill sets like time series analysis, statistics, blah, blah, blah. So I will ask one more question. What about my work experience? Then it tells me first one, junior data scientist, as well as my internship experience. I'm also gonna ask it what languages does she speak. Then we got English, Chinese, and a little bit Polish. That's my entire process of building my personal portfolio, just through vibe coding, starting from writing prompts, getting MVP, then to gradually adding more features, just one step at a time. There's something I learned from it, and I really want to share it with you. First of all, you must stay patient. Even though Agentic AI does most of heavy lifting for you, it doesn't mean zero amount of human intervention. I guarantee you will see a lot of bugs whenever you build something, and it requires lots of errors and trials, debugging back and forth until you figure things out. It's like the bug in the AI chatbot I showed in the demo, but you are not the only one on this boat. This is completely normal, and in fact, this is what every developer faces on a daily basis. But I believe patience is a good quality to set yourself apart from other builders in the long term. Second, always start small and work up. You don't need to rush to the end of fancy products. That's usually not realistic, and it can be quite challenging, especially when you're in the very beginning stage of learning how to build something with Agentic AI. So I recommend you create an MVP, only building basic functionalities, and based on this, you can consider adding one feature at a time. Like in the demo, we built a basic website. Then we added a clickable button, then AI chatbot to make it more interactive. But if you were me, maybe adding a detailed case study demo about projects could be a good idea. That means whenever someone clicks your projects, don't just direct them to your GitHub page. Maybe have a new page open and show everyone the details of your projects. You know, the problem, the process, the solution, etc. Third, to have a builder mindset, you need to get your hands dirty and go to solve more real-world problems. Practice makes perfect, and it's like anything else. You can only see your skills grow through making projects. Perhaps starting with solving your own pain point, like if you are not so good at organizing daily work, what would you build to solve it by using Agentic AI? Last but not least, always keep your eyes open. AI is a fast evolving landscape. Things from the last year may not be related to today anymore. So learning new skills will definitely not fail you. And that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.